Hi guys, welcome back. It's Kazzy here, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be going over this tutorial inspired by Scar from The Lion King. This tutorial is my first foray into more special effects, makeup, and contouring like crazy, so hopefully I didn't do too bad a job. So let's get started. Before starting, I've already done my base, and so I'm just going to skip right ahead to the eyebrow portion of this tutorial. To start off with, I'm taking this glue stick and then just applying it to this portion of the eyebrow. Then whilst that dries, I'm going on to create the scar. I'm mapping it out using this brown eyeliner from Too Faced. I'm trying to make sure it matches up on either side of the eyebrow. Then I'm taking the lash glue on a foam applicator. They finally come in handy for something, and just went over the area that I mapped out. I will be doing this several times throughout the tutorial, and you will know when I do this because it'll be white again. Then to create the gap in my eyebrow, I took concealer and just drew in over the glue because it was dry, then blended it out and then set it with a powder. I used Rimmel's Stay Matte for this. Then I did my eyebrows. I used MAC's Espresso and an angled liner brush just to fill in my brows. I filled in the tail end of my left eyebrow. This is my left eyebrow, and then the first 2/3 of it, and then I did the same with the other eyebrow. To start with my eyes, I took the Nudes palette from Maybelline, and with a fluffy brush, this is the MAC 217, I took this shade right here and I put it right through the crease and over my crease area and into my brow bone. I wanted to bring this up quite high and also winged it out really excessively because I had the sellotape there. Then I took this darker shade from the same palette and did the exact same thing, but I took this a bit further in on the outer V area. Then I went into the same palette again and I took this shade just to kind of blend those two together. Going back to Espresso, I did the exact same thing. This involves a lot of crease work and just outer V area just to, get that deepness. Then I took Breaking Nude from L'Oreal, and on a more accurate brush I put this more through the crease area than with the previous eyeshadows. Then I took Embark from MAC on the same brush and I did the same thing through the crease and outer V area. Then I took Malt on my fingertip and then I just applied it to my lid. Taking an eye crayon from Rimmel, this is called Bootleg Brown, and I applied it just straight through the crease and then blended it out with a brush. Going back into Breaking Nude with a fluffy brush, I just blended everything out just to make it more seamless. Then using Kat Von D's tattoo liner, I drew a very dramatic wing. I followed the sellotape that I had placed down and then just brought it straight back in to create the dramaticness to create the large wing that I wanted for this look. Then I removed the sellotape and then I went straight into lining my waterline. I didn't do my tight line, I just did my waterline using this soft eyeliner from Helen E. I curled my eyelashes and applied mascara to my top lashes using this L'Oreal So Couture mascara. Then dipping back into Espresso on this precision brush, I just took it underneath my lower lash line. Now this is where it got a bit more trickier. I took Hoola from Benefit and on an eyeshadow brush I actually drew out my jawline and then brought it down towards the side of my mouth and then blended it out. And I did the same on the other side, just went underneath my jawline and then down towards my jaw. I'm at my cheekbone at the same time. Then I just hollowed out my temples and just went along my hairline as well. Then using that same brush, I dipped back into the Maybelline palette and then just took cooler toned shades just to hollow out that area that wee bit more, just to make it look darker and not as warm looking. I wanted this to be a very cool toned look. Then I took the contour brush from Real Techniques and used those same shadows and just did the same thing just to make it a bit more defined. Going back to an eyeshadow brush and taking this greyish kind of colour, I used it to really hollow out and sink in my cheekbones a little bit, or at least I tried to do that. And I just took this to my cheekbones, my temples, and blended it out with the brush and my fingers. For my lips, I took this NYX lip liner in Blackberry, and then I lined and filled in my top lip only. Then I went over the top of that with this Barry M black lipstick just to intensify a little bit more. Now to move on to the scar. I took this shade here right from the L'Oreal palette and applied this to the scar all over it and just built up the colour that I wanted. Then I took this shade right here on an accent brush and just did the same thing, filling in the scar area that I had mapped out before. Then I took another shade from that palette, this one right here, and on an accent brush just did the same thing. It's just like filling in and shading here. And then just taking this other purple one, I just used it to create some definition. Then going into the Sleek palette and taking this shade appropriately called Villain, I used it to really define certain areas of the scar area. Then I took this shade called Maple and pretty much did the same thing. This is all just about kind of creating definition and shapes and just making it look textured. Then I took Noir from the Sleek palette and just outlined the scar just to make it textured again and give a bit of shadow to it and things like that. With a nail art brush, I took this grey eyeshadow and kind of outlined it, leaving a gap of a couple of millimeters just to make it look raised a bit. Then on my lower lip, I took my foundation and just applied it to my lip and blended it out. Then set it using a powder like the Rimmel one from before. And that is it. That is your scar inspired makeup tutorial. I hope that you liked this video. Please subscribe if you're new. I would love to have you along, and I will hopefully see you in my next video, which will be the last in my Halloween series. See you then!